Show.
This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, and today I'm pleased to have Beau, Burchell, and Cove Reber of SAOSIN on my show. How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. And let's not forget Matilda.
And Matilda.
And Matilda. How long have you had Matilda for?
About 3 weeks.
And where'd you find Matilda?
I got her from one of my really, really good friends. Got her for my birthday.
Now, Beau, how has the tour been going for you guys so far?
First 3 dates were sold out, and I think today's the 5th, so it's going well.
You did some amazing tours this summer. You did Project Revolution, and then before that you did Taste of Chaos. How were those tours?
They're cool, man. I think everything was really good. You know, got to play in front of a lot of new fans that people probably wouldn't have seen us normally, and now it's nice seeing a lot of those same people coming back.
Cove, how did you find out about SAOSIN, and how important was it for you to be in the band?
I found out about SAOSIN from a good friend of mine who was on their message board, who was friends with all of their hardcore fans, and he sent me a link to mp3.com when that was just, you know, the coolest thing ever to find bands. From the first hit of 7 years, from first drum intro, I was sold. I had found out that Anthony had quit, but I didn't accept it and realize it until like 6 months down the road. But once I had realized it and I started talking with Beau and Chris, from that point on I was like, I have to sing for SAOSIN.
Who came up with the name SAOSIN, and what does it mean?
It means small heart, love with caution.
What do you think that super producer Howard Benson brought to the SAOSIN sound?
I think the only thing that Howard really brought to the table that helped us like solidify a SAOSIN sound was the vocal arrangements and harmonies and capturing the emotion. I had a lot of growing up to do before recording and during the record, and he really helped me and kind of molded me into who I am today.
Cole, what was it like the first time you hit the stage with SAOSIN?
Nerve-wracking. I remember telling the guys like 30 minutes before we went on, I've never been a front man. And they're like, what? You know, I was like, sorry dudes, like I can sing but I've never been a front man. And they're like, just go crazy. I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's all I needed to hear.
What do you think makes SAOSIN unique in a world of a million bands, Beau?
I wouldn't go so far as to say that we're a unique band. I think there's tons of bands making music similar to ours, but I think that we've just been really lucky enough to have, you know, fans that have supported us over the years. I like to think that we're not really doing anything new. We're just kind of doing it well.
What was it like for you to be on the cover of Alternative Press?
It was cool.
It was. Yeah, I mean, we're so laid back, man. Like
we were never into this for like the fame or stuff. Like I have no desire to be on a billboard or to be like a famous celebrity or anything. You know, it's like I just like making music. I mean that we didn't even want to have our picture in our record.
Yeah.
You know what
I
mean?
bet if you could film Beau tonight, he could walk around this entire venue and maybe get stopped twice. Yeah. And that's kind of what we all desire. Like you said, we're not in it for the fame, the glory, or anything like that. When I joined the band, he told me, I want to write music that I can listen to and be proud of 10, 15, 20, 30, 60, whatever years down the road. We don't fit the normal band dude persona.
Yeah, we're not like all like extremely eccentric, weird dudes, you know. We're just kind of like, we're really mellow, and we're not out like partying hard every night, and we're just total mellow guys.
Don't get us wrong. Like we
like to party.
We like to party. Don't get us wrong.
But
it's not extreme partying. It's not like, you know, we take care of one another, and we just want to make sure that when we wake up in the morning, we actually wake up and have fun.
How do you separate yourself from the norms of what people expect in this business? I mean, your press people, your label, as far as like
they hate it.
Them calling upon you to be famous.
They hate it because they're like, hey, you know, like we got this possible interview coming up. Do any of you guys have like drinking or drug problems that we can talk about? And we're like,
no,
not really, you know, or like, all right, well, who has like really weird things that they do? No one.
None of us.
So they hate it, you know, because there's nothing. We're just normal, boring guys. You know, we just like writing music and playing it.
We make them work.
Does SAOSIN have an overall message?
No, I wouldn't say there's like one specific message. There's a lot of themes on a record that a lot of people can attach themselves to. I don't like records that have one specific theme.
Yeah, we're not like a political band.
Yeah.
We don't really have like an agenda to make people listen to our music and then read the lyrics and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I want to be vegetarian. You know, we're not really one of those bands. We just kind of write good songs, and we're not really into writing about negative stuff. We write kind of positive messages, and we just like people to like the songs.
Do you have spirituality in your life?
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm a Christian.
Cove, you were in a band called Mormon in the Middle. And tell me about that.
My spirituality, I grew up Mormon. Parents were Mormon. Their parents were Mormon. And I grew up that way. I was taught that way. I believe that way. But I think that because I am where I am now, and I've seen the world, and I've traveled, and I've met people, and I've experienced a lot of things, I've also picked up a lot of spirituality that I couldn't learn from a book. There's a lot of great principles and stories and things that you can learn from the Bible, and for me, from the Book of Mormon. But as a Christian or as a Mormon or a Catholic or whatever, it all falls under the whole Christian category. So for us and for me, I try and live as best a life as I possibly can, to where I'm setting a good example for people. I mean, that's the thing about, I think, SAOSIN, is that we may not all be Christians, but when we're on stage, we're not stoned, we're not drunk, we don't typically swear every other word on stage. We're not like out there to like put the whole rock and roll lifestyle in the past, but we don't do some of the things that those old time rockers did. We don't trash backstage. We don't have girls lined up because our roadies were out there picking them out of the crowd. If anything, we would tell those people, have some freaking respect for yourself. We're not trying to tell everybody, you have to change your life to live a great life. But I mean, for me, I know that the principles that I was taught growing up have really helped me to lead a better life.
So SAOSIN, in short, is a band with a conscience.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, half the guys in the band like to party a little harder,
But they party a little harder, but they know their limits, and they know that they have to wake up with the other half of the band that, may have a little bit more of a conscience, like you said,
I guess for me, it's not necessarily a conscience thing. It's just kind of, I'm no way a saint either. I was a pretty crappy dude for a long time.
But weren't we all, mistakes.
But, I think more now it's just a thing where it's just second nature. It's like, oh, let's go out and get trashed tonight, or get up early and go for a run.
Who came up with the cover concept for the new SAOSIN CD?
The person who came up with the beetle, this Dutch guy, and he sent it to us, and from that we all kind of collectively put our heads together. And if you look at the inside of the booklet, there's a tale of this beetle bursting out of a light bulb. So interpret it for what it's worth.
What are fans saying to SAOSIN on the road?
We've toured with a lot of bands that are like scared of their fans, and they're just like, oh man, keep those kids away from me, Whereas for us, we met so many people, and it's like, most of them, it's kind of cool because, most of them are at the same, if we show up to like San Francisco, we know it's going to be these same group of people there that are, like, we're going to get cookies, or like, stuff like that. It's like, it's pretty cool because you get to see the same people and you get to build friendships and relationships. And it's pretty cool because, like I said, a lot of bands are like really scared of their fans. But I think that kind of comes with us not being a weird band either. Maybe if we were up there wearing like black mesh socks on our hands and wearing weird stuff and like blue hair, like maybe we would attract different types of people. Actually, the normal thing for us is like after a show, like, we'll be hanging out and walking around, and some dude will come up and be like, "What's up, dude? Good show."
Yeah.
It's like, or that'll happen.
You've never been in a situation where you've been overwhelmed by admiration.
No. We've definitely had some moments at signings.
There's some weird times.
Where do you feel you find your greatest peace?
I really like recording bands. That's where I'm like totally happy with, and then playing, but then again, playing has its perks too. Like, I love being on stage, and then like the feeling of like 1,000 people singing your songs is like really cool too.
I find my peace, obviously, like I like it when it's quiet and alone time. I used to never like it quiet, but now that that we're always on stage and we're always surrounded by noise. I'm just like, it's time to get some peace and quiet and just chill.
What is next for SAOSIN?
We're going to go back and write another record. Take some time off, obviously, before that.
This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show. It's Cove, Reber, and Beau Burchell of SAOSIN signing off.